if you are a full-time employee and have considered investing in real estate, what is wrong with you? I'm joking. I actually wanted to talk about my personal story doing exactly that. I feel like it's something that is not talked about often enough. These two strategies in particular that I wanted to share, I feel like are game changers when combined, and I somehow stumbled upon them. So I don't know what I did right in a previous life, but I feel extremely grateful. So nothing I'm saying is to brag, but the ability of being able to buy pretty much one rental property every single year is due to these two different strategies. So the first one is house hacking that I've talked a little bit about before, but for those that haven't heard about it, house hacking is a strategy of essentially using the least amount of money that you can upfront to get into a property. And you do that by using or exploiting the fact that at least in the US, you can get primary residence loans, which allow you to do something like a conventional loan, which is normally 5% of the value of the house as your down payment. Whereas normally you would have to do a 20% down payment for like an investment property. The only caveat though is that you have to live in the property for 1 year. The hacking part usually comes from the fact that once you actually live in the property, you can rent out a portion of it. And the mind-blowing part, or the lesser known fact, is that primary residence loans also apply up to fourplexes. So you can do not only a single family home, but you can buy a duplex, triplex, up to a fourplex using the strategy of using a 5% loan with the primary residence loan. So you can live in one of the units and rent out the other three if you bought a fourplex. Or if you're in an area like me though, there aren't many multifamily properties available, or people are not really selling them. So you might have to get a single family home and get roommates. So that's where this strategy might not be for everyone, of course. And I understand that some people with families and stuff, it might be a little harder to do, but if you're able to sacrifice that, I mean, this is something extremely powerful. Now it's even more powerful when you combine it with the second strategy that I feel like I stumbled upon, and that is the co-living strategy. This is where it just like becomes a gold mine, it feels like. So the fact that you're renting by the room allows you to be almost twice as much as you would normally be able to make from renting the unit as a whole. And at least that has been my experience based on the rates that I've seen for like a 4-bedroom house in my area. I'm making easily 60-70% more than what I could normally rent it for if I rented the whole unit. You're also able to have more reliable income coming in. If you think about the idea of renting the property as a whole, you have one tenant move out and you lose 100% of your rental income. Whereas in this instance, if you're doing the co-living strategy and renting properties by the room, one person moves out and say it's a 4-bedroom property, you only lose 25% of your rental income. So you're able to sustain kind of your cash flow coming in, even if you have some vacancies. Initially, my mindset was to buy in an area that had a hospital and a school, like a college, thinking that I was going to get a lot of people coming from those. I can count in one hand how many people have actually gotten from the hospital and from the university. So in reality, there's just, I mean, I think everyone knows how the housing market is at the current moment. So it seems like there is just a big need for affordable housing. So not only does it kind of fulfill the strive you have for making more money or having like this investment asset, but it also kind of fills a gap in most local communities, I would say. And it feels fulfilling in a way. It feels like you're providing good quality, affordable housing for others. I take pride in like making the common areas really nice for people and making sure that the roommates get along, like introducing them to each other before they move in and stuff like that. So that's it. I just wanted to speak a little bit about those two particular investment strategies. And if you're interested in any of that, or it feels like it could fit your lifestyle, I'll be doing more videos about the way I've been doing house hacking and co-living, and obviously sharing tips and lessons I've learned the hard way.